And all my gamers and NFT enthusiasts, the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast is hooked up with the lightest Premiere Network to offer you something special. Go to the top line of the description box and click on the link to play a season preview of the game Finesse Shadow Warriors. It's brought to you by play.finesse.fun. Go to the top line of the description box if you're into NFTs and if you're into gaming. Go have non-stop fun. Tell me your boy O God sent you. The link is at the top line of the description box. Play.finesse.fun. Go get it. Angele Yee finally opens up about the Breakfast Club. Now, she was doing an interview on Tamron Hall, exclusive with Tamron Hall. Well, some people felt like she was kind of throwing a little bit of shade at her former co-host at the Breakfast Club, and she was talking about being the only woman and some experiences that she had being held accountable for certain things that DJ Envy and Charlamagne said. And I'm going to play the short clip, and then I got to come back and I got to talk about this. And, I'm going to give you, you know what type of angle I'm going to give you. So just stick around. After you hear Yee, you're going to hear what I got to say. Roll tape, smash the like button.
On this show with a lot of bravado, with a lot of edge, disruptive, and that's why millions of people love the show. It seemed to me that people were always riding you.
Yeah, and I was the only woman who worked there too. I mean, when it came to producers, camera people, and it wasn't an easy room for me to be in.
I didn't know that.
So I feel like I did need more backup. Because even things that I felt, it is, if somebody can't understand your point of view because they're not coming from where you come from. And so that was hard for me too, to be the only woman there with nobody to be like, check somebody, you shouldn't have said that like that. It's just me. And there were times I did do that behind the scenes because, we should be able to do that. That's part of what it is. I'm not always going to agree. But it's hard when nobody's like, you know what, she's right. Or let's all have a conversation about this. It's just kind of like you say what you say.
Now, to all the ladies out there, let me speak my piece. Let me speak my piece on this, right? And here's how I kind of feel about it. Whether you agree with me or you disagree with me, I got to keep it real about the whole situation. I'm thinking like, all right, I get it. Sometimes Envy or Charlamagne says something nutty, and you had to take accountability for that and pay for that. What about when you say something crazy or do something crazy and they got to pay for it, right? The other side of this thing is like, I have a co-host and I've had co-hosts for years. And it's like, we a team, right? We definitely a team. But if Sam Ant was to go and say something and people was in the comments like, oh, y'all and this, I'm just going to have to take that on the chin and hold that. Now, we all know what happened. I'm not going to sit up there, and be fighting people over it. Like, all right, he said it. Shit, we can wear it together. But at the end of the day, people know that we got separate opinions at the end of the day. That's kind of the risk that you take, when you join up, when you're in a group with somebody. You kind of got to wear some of the stuff, on them. I don't like, and I hope that I'm not seeing the feminist angle or the feminism angle with this, where it's kind of like, woe is me, I'm the woman. And I get it, a woman working in a male-dominated environment. Women have had, haven't always had equal rights. I understand the history very, very thoroughly. But, without me being there behind the scenes, but I know when I seen on air, everyone had the opportunity, to answer questions. Everyone had the opportunity to say what they was going to say. And, you're the Breakfast Club. Remember that. You're the Breakfast Club. It ain't Charlamagne's show. It ain't Angele Yee's show or Envy show. It's the Breakfast Club. The radio station hired you guys. You guys did the show there. The show blew up. Now, I never have a problem with anybody vetting and speaking their opinions. I just don't want it to turn into, it's like, okay, woman versus man thing. Like, I don't think it's that. I think women have a lot of rights now. And I don't want it to ever turn into, historically, when you look at history, black man, black woman, which Angele Yee is half black, so we could put her in a category, right? We never historically, oppressed black women. Now, our counterparts, they have a history of doing that with their women as well as other races of people. But we never had that type of power. We always kind of been in the struggle, together. So it kind of reeks of feminism a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. It kind of reeks of that. Even how the host is kind of like, baiting her in, because undoubtedly, the host probably went through some of the same things and whatnot, and I'm not saying that things don't go on. I get it. Things go on with women. A lot of the time it's not equal pay. I get that. Like, I'm not ever trying to negate that. right? But at the same time, I think that there are times, there are instances where a woman is going to have an equal shake, sometimes even a better shake than men at certain jobs because she's a woman, right? So I just think that's how I kind of feel about the situation. That's my angle, on it. A little bit of shade, a little bit of shots. I guess so. And probably one of the reasons why she wanted to, move on and do her own show at this point. It's like, you know what? I had a lot of success there, but I kind of want to, put the pants on, you know what I mean, and run this thing. I kind of want to be, Jacques Cousteau. I want to let my nuts hang proverbially. And that's why she got way up with Angela Yee, you know what I mean? But that's my take, man. And again, I was inspired, by those three, to even do what we're doing right now. I mean, we was doing blog talk radio at the time, which was like sort of like a podcast, interviewing people back in like 2014. So, always grateful, for the dynamic that they brung, and they made other people feel like they could do it, as well. But it comes with the territory. It's like something you got to wear on the chin. You know what I mean? Like I was explained earlier, we doing the show, you say something, remember, we're still under the brand. Just like, if an NFL football team, right? Somebody go say something nutty, and the player said it, but the whole organization kind of got to wear it. You feel what I'm saying? That's what it. So for like to point things out, to kind of put yourself into the victim role, like, okay, come on, like, come on. Like, it's like, I don't know. Is it just me? I'm talking to the ladies out there. Does this reek of feminism? Does it reek of that? Does this reek of, what does this reek of? Is this the real reason why she left the Breakfast Club? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. You already know what it is. And I don't think there's nothing wrong. I think their time ran its course. In that current format, even though I still would love it if they would still do it. I think over the years, just like anything else, it kind of, I don't want to say watered itself down, but it kind of got less important. Still very important, but it got less important for the culture. Like, it was a point in time where Breakfast Club was like the culture. Like, yo, you're going to have Farrakhan on here. You're going to have this person on here. You're going to have the person that they shun the most on here. If something happened in hip-hop, you're going to have one person, the next thing you're going to have the other person that it happened with. You might have, a president on there. Now it's like, you got these certain people, but now it's more of agenda-based. Like, okay, Democratic. Now people are paying for slots. Maybe not like that, like paying out their pocket, but paying. Like promoting scammers, continuing promoting scammers, continuing to promote charlatans, just that whole thing. Like, and, I think at a point in time, you have to really keep, your content and your angle authentic to the people. Not saying you got to do everything that people say. I'm not saying that, be no yes man or woman, but just like, all right, let's get to it. Like, let's really talk, like, kind of like the Young Turks a little bit. Maybe that's a bad example. Maybe it's a good example. But somebody's going to give you that uncensored angle all the time, no matter what their feelings, no matter what their allegiance, and it's hard to do that when you got sponsors and stuff paying for slots, because there's no way if somebody spends $10,000 with me, I'm going to go in on them. If that's just business, unless you might as well call them and say, F your $10,000, that's just the way. And that's why I don't ever want to be in that position, where, it's compromised. I don't want to be compromised for telling the truth. That's how we remain independent. We remain independent. Right? Now, there's certain people we got relationships with, and, certain things we probably wouldn't talk about, depending on, like, it's just that's real talk. But there's certain things like, we got to talk about this, and not on no gossipy stuff, but just like, this is real. This is crazy. This is really going to affect the people. So that's all I got to say about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I appreciate you guys and girls listening. I want to hear the men, but I definitely want to hear the women. What do y'all feel about Angela Yee's angle? Hey, videos brought to you by hiphopun.com. Go to the top line of the description box and check in with the Lightest Fair Network. The Lightest Fair Network, that's play.finesse.com. Don't worry, links at the top line of the description box. If you're into gaming and NFTs, hey, hit that link. Also, if you want to get the freshest hip-hop stories, the freshest stories from all over the world, our website is hiphopun.com. That's hiphop, the letter un.com. Check us out in the description box as well as follow us on all social media sites below. Peace.